Credit to Iowa. They're a really good football team. Tough in all aspects, offense, defense, special teams. We knew we were going to have to play the long game today. We tried to play the long game last year, and we ended up putting the ball on the ground, throwing an interception. But you got to play the long game with them. I remember talking with Coach Bielema at an event in the offseason. We were just talking about Iowa because he graduated from Iowa. We were just talking, and he's like, there's a strategic way to beat Iowa, and it's really hard to do it. And you've got to be willing to commit to it. And as tempting as it is, as frustrating as it can get at times, you got to just stick with the plan. And I'm really proud of our coaches and our players for just responding the way that the rowboat culture responds, the oar back in the water. And they never gave up. They always believed. Our backs were against the wall in the second half, coming in from halftime. Self-inflicted touchdown on 4 straight penalties. That's so unlike us. And then we came out in the second half, played a really clean half. But to be able to settle down the way they did, we told about this word poise at the beginning of the year. And they showed incredible amounts of poise tonight. I said to Jim Tressel taught me a long time ago, and I asked him, why do you coach college football? He said, because you never know what's going to happen. On the good end, on the hard end, this is one of those really good ones. And but you never know what's going to happen. I mean, look at the swings, and if you want to say momentum, you can say that. But we just had to continue to keep our oar in the water no matter what it was. Even on that last play, we were already responding with 2 minutes just in case. So we faced a ton of adversity. I mean, there was a lot of things that did not go our way today, and we had every opportunity to fold, and they just wouldn't. Our team, our players wouldn't. So, yeah, bring Floyd home.
What did you see on the punt return? Did you see anything on what he did before he fielded it?
It was earlier. Yeah. It was earlier, and my eyes immediately go back there, and he thought it was a fair catch signal. I mean, I'm not an official, right? But there was something, and you can't make. We've been called for that before, where we've made any type of movement prior to the catch, and the ball was dead right there. But if it wasn't, that was a heck of a play by the kid. I mean, it was a heck of a play.
You obviously don't know that call was made up until afterwards. What was your reaction when he's going down the sideline?
2 minute. I mean, that was not a reaction. There's a difference between reaction and response. Reaction is based on the circumstances just happened. I can't do anything about that. I mean, that happened. It's over. It's done with. That's a reaction. People want you to flip out and, do somersaults and cartwheels and backflips. I mean, nope. We were already on to 2 minutes. Flipped over, got our 2 minute plan ready to go to go down and score. That was the whole mentality. And that's what our entire sideline was saying.
Iowa had negative yards until that final drive. What clicked for your defense in the second?
Well, if you take away one drive, I mean, besides the opening drive, right? Besides that drive that we self-inflicted our penalties, I don't think they moved the ball very well. When you look at how we settled down in the second half, I think that was a direct byproduct of being very transparent with them at halftime of exactly what we needed to do from a technical, fundamental standpoint and then a philosophical game plan standpoint. And I thought both adjustments were made by our team. And that takes a lot of poise because they can come in there and fold up the tents right there. Most teams do. Not this team. Not this team. I mean, they listened. It was a hard talk. I mean, it was hard to be transparent and honest, but it was. And they needed to be able to hear that. And, same with the coaches, as well as me. I'm in that mix too. We're a team. I needed to coach way better in that second half.
Was there a change in strategy in the pass rush in the second half?
No, we were getting to them with 4. I mean, we did blitz a few more times in the second half, which, I think that's what really helped us. I mean, we wanted to make sure that, 10 had to beat us. And, we got up in people's faces and pressed the receivers a little bit more than we normally do. And I think that was really beneficial for us. Only thing I wanted to see more of was some tip balls and some things like that when we weren't going to be able to get to him. But besides that, I thought we brought pressure to him all day and we got him a little off his platform, got to let him off his spot. And once we were able to do that and get to him a few times and then, got the ball on the ground a few times, I think, made him, move out of the pocket or made him be uncomfortable or made him throw a ball that was, not very accurate.
P.J., how do you put this in context, not only for yourself, but for senior players that have been through this program, the guys that have come before, what this means?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's 1-0 in the championship season of Iowa. I told our team that the same thing. Just it's 1-0. It's one win. But it's a big one. It's a big win for our state, our university. We haven't won here in Kinnick since 1999. I mean, I was in high school. For all the people who set the opportunity up for that to happen. Not only that just played for us, our time here as Gophers, but you know, the regime before and before and before and before. Any Gopher, I mean, this is a wonderful night for everybody. And I hope everybody celebrates that Floyd's coming home safely and responsibly. And, you know, buys as much Duck Duck beer as they possibly can.
Were those two first-half timeouts tied directly to the win there?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, because it was such a factor. If you were on the field, and you got a chance to feel it. I mean, it was clear. If you looked at that crane, right, on the north side of the stadium, that's the real wind. When you start getting inside the stadium, it's swirling. So you have to trust what you see when the ball's up in the air. We knew we had to be able to get some type of points on the drive, right? And so, yeah, I mean, that was – I told you in the first half, I'm willing to burn as many timeouts as they would give me. If they gave me 2 more, I'll burn those 2 too. You give me 5, I'll burn 5. I mean, that's how I feel about first half timeouts. You know, because you got to be able to make in-game adjustments, or you have to be able to create an advantage for your football team. And the wind was at our back for only a little bit. I wasn't going to, you saw the kick into the wind, and that was a long one. The other one, 47, 42, 43 yards, whatever it was. I mean, the one that he pulled to the right, but that was into the wind. That was a tough wind. I mean, you got to put a lot of calculations in your head. I mean, I've never shot a sniper rifle in my entire life, but I've heard about it. And there's a person next to you telling you the wind and the direction and the distance and all that other stuff. It's kind of like a kicker. And Dragon did an amazing job. We had to rely on him tonight. And, that's one of those games, that slow drip. And you can't get bored. You got to break boring with Iowa. And that's a credit to them. That's a compliment to them because they force you to in a completely different game plan. But we stuck to ours. Really proud of our coaches. Really proud of our players. Way better. I bet you'd still want some throws back. Gets a little bit on his front foot a little bit where the ball comes down, but that's a huge step in the right direction, because I thought that he had to respond. And it's not just the physical response that you see the throws. It's the mental and emotional response of being the guy. And, 70,000, 80,000 people are, talking to you. And you got to respond mentally and emotionally in the right way. And I think that challenged him tonight to do that. Better and more than he has in a long time. And I'm really proud of him because he made some big-time throws. Our wideouts made some big-time catches, too.
Outside of Dragon, how would you characterize special teams right now?
Well, it's part of the winning formula. I mean, it's not perfect. I don't think anybody's going to be perfect. Today was a tough day in special teams to be able to judge a lot of different things. I mean, the coverage at the end, that's just unacceptable. I mean, that's a really good player making a play. We just can't let him out of that corner. We pinned it into the corner. It's a great punt. We wanted it towards the sideline, away from where it's going to bounce. He put it right where it needed to be. Again, we just took the cheese. One of our cover guys takes the cheese. And even though you are shrinking that lane, it's still your lane. The minute you jump out of your lane, that can happen. So,
Did you have a moment with the pig yet?
What's that?
Did you have a moment with the pig?
I can't lift it. I throw my back out they said it's heavy, but I haven't given it a shot to pick it up by myself just yet. So I'll when no one's looking, I'm going to give it a shot. Where I got to bend with my hips, knees, and ankles and bring it up.
I believe it's the first time since 1991 the pig and the axe are at Diggy Town. What does that mean to you and this team?
Listen, we just do what we're hired to do, and that's go win football games. And do it in a way that, we can make people better academically, athletically, socially, spiritually. When you do that, eventually things are going to go your way. A lot of things haven't bounced our way this year. They really haven't. And to have the axe and the pig in our building, and, we got to put the axe on the line here in a few weeks, but is a really special. That's 1991. I was 10, 11. That's something like that. That's really special for our state. And it's the next right step, right? It's the next right step. And I go back to that. This didn't win us a championship today. It was a 1-0 in the Iowa championship. This is the next right step for this football team to take all the necessary actions moving forward.
Any more for Coach? Everyone else said. Awesome. Thank you.
See you back home with Floyd.